You're not burned out from working too hard. You're burned out from working hard toward the wrong destination. And the brutal part? You probably already know this. You've known for a while. But knowing and doing something about it are two completely different things. So let's do something about it.
You wake up tired. Not coffee tired, not sleep-deprived tired. The other kind. The kind that sits in your chest at 7 a.m. when nothing has even gone wrong yet. From the outside, your life looks fine. Job, people who love you, enough money to not panic. And yet, something is off. Something has been off for longer than you want to admit. Here's what that feeling actually is. It's not burnout. It's not depression. It's not ingratitude. It's the specific exhaustion that comes from maintaining a version of yourself that was designed by someone else. A life built from borrowed goals, inherited expectations, and decisions made by a younger version of you who didn't know nearly enough yet. You're not carrying your life. You're carrying someone else's idea of what your life should look like. And that backpack gets heavier every single year you don't look inside it. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how you ended up here, why it's draining you faster than anything else, and how to start putting it down without blowing up everything you've built. But first, you need to understand how the weight got on you in the first place, because it didn't happen overnight, and it didn't happen by accident.
Nobody builds a life they don't want on purpose. It happens in the most innocent way possible. Someone plants an idea in your head, a parent, a teacher, a culture, a LinkedIn post about what a successful life looks like. Stable income, respected title, nice apartment, the right relationship at the right age. And it sounds reasonable, so you start moving toward it. You take the degree that opened doors. You take the job that looked impressive. You buy the things that matched the income level you thought you were supposed to have. You post the photos that showed the life you were supposed to be living. And each step felt like progress. It was progress, just not necessarily in your direction. Here's what nobody tells you about borrowed goals. They don't come with borrowed energy. You still have to use your time, your attention, your actual years to chase them. And when you spend your real, finite, non-refundable life chasing someone else's finish line, the reward always feels hollow. You get the promotion. Good for 3 days. Then it just feels like more pressure. You buy the house. Exciting for a week. Then it just feels like a mortgage. You hit the milestone. And instead of satisfaction, you feel this quiet, uncomfortable question rising up from somewhere inside you. Is this it? That question is not weakness. That question is not ingratitude. That question is your internal compass trying to speak, telling you that the destination you arrived at wasn't actually yours. Tired is not weakness. Tired is information. The question is, are you listening? But here's what makes it worse. Because it's not just the goals that drain you. It's something deeper than that. Something nobody has a clean word for, but you've been feeling it for years.
There's a kind of weight that almost never gets talked about. And it's probably the heaviest thing you carry every single day. Call it identity debt. Identity debt is the gap between who you actually are and who you've been performing for the people around you. And it accumulates the same way financial debt does. Quietly, consistently, one small compromise at a time. Every time you said yes when you meant no, another pound. Every time you stayed in something you'd outgrown because leaving felt too complicated, another pound. Every time you bought something to signal a status you weren't even sure you wanted, another pound. None of these feel heavy on their own. That's the trap. It's death by 1,000 small compromises. And one day you wake up moving through life in slow motion, everything taking twice the energy it should. That's not laziness. That's the accumulated weight of a self that doesn't fit anymore. Think of it like software running in the background. You can't see it, you didn't open it consciously, but it's consuming processing power every single second, slowing everything else down. That's what living inside an identity that doesn't fit actually feels like. Not dramatic, just slow, just heavy, just off. And the world doesn't help. The world rewards you for carrying more. More credentials, more responsibilities, more obligations. Busy means important. Packed schedule means you matter. The cultural message is clear, and it is completely wrong. Busy is not the same as alive. Impressive is not the same as fulfilled.
So here's the question nobody asks you. Not your parents, not your boss, not your therapist, not Instagram. What do you actually want? Not what sounds impressive, not what your younger self decided before they knew who they were going to become, not what would make a good caption. What do you, the person you are right now, today, actually want from your life? Most people genuinely don't know. And that's not a personal failure. It's what happens when you spend years executing someone else's vision. Your internal signal gets buried under noise. So here's how you find it again. Don't ask what excites you. Excitement is just novelty. Don't ask what you're passionate about. That word has been emptied of all meaning. Just notice what doesn't drain you. Notice what activities, what conversations, what kind of work leaves you feeling less empty than others. That's the thread. Follow it and sit with this question tonight. Don't answer it immediately. Just let it sit. If nobody in your life would find out, if there were zero social consequences, what would your Tuesday look like? Not your dream vacation, just a regular Tuesday. Where would you be? What would you be doing? Who would you be with? The gap between that Tuesday and your actual Tuesday, that gap is the distance between the life you're living and the life that's actually yours. And most people spend their entire lives never measuring it. Because measuring it is uncomfortable. Comfort and clarity are never in the same room. Now, once you see the gap, there's a moment that happens. And most people get it wrong.
There's always a moment. Sometimes it's dramatic. Sometimes it's almost embarrassingly quiet. But everyone who's ever made a real change in their life can point back to a specific moment where something shifted. Maybe it was sitting in traffic on a Tuesday, on the way to a job you're good at but don't love. And a song came on and something cracked open in your chest. Maybe it was at a party, surrounded by people, drink in hand, laughing at the right moments, and feeling more alone than you've ever felt in an empty room. Maybe it was a random Wednesday where nothing happened, nothing went wrong, and you sat in the silence and thought, I don't actually know what I want.
These moments feel like breakdowns. They're not. They're breakthroughs wearing the wrong costume. The version of you that's been holding everything together, performing, maintaining, achieving, that version finally got too tired to keep pretending. And in the exhaustion, something honest slipped through. The crack is the opening. Most people patch it immediately. New goal, new purchase, new distraction. Scroll, consume, stay busy. Because sitting with the feeling is terrifying. It might tell you that a decision you built a lot of your life around was the wrong one. But that feeling is not your enemy. It's the first honest conversation your body has had with you in years. And here's where most people lose. They feel the crack. They sense something real trying to surface, and they bury it under more activity, more ambition, more noise. Don't do that. Because what comes after the crack is the only part of this that actually
actually matters. And the first step has nothing to do with action. It has everything to do with honesty.
You don't have to blow up your life. Dramatic overhauls almost never work because they're built on emotion, not structure. What actually works is much quieter and much harder. First, the honest inventory. Grab paper, not your phone. Write down the 5 biggest commitments currently taking the most from you. Job, relationship, financial obligations, social obligations, whatever it is. Then write one word next to each. Chosen or inherited? Chosen means you actively decided this as the person you are today and you choose it again. Inherited means it came from circumstance, expectation, or a past version of yourself you've since outgrown. You might be surprised how the list looks. That's not a verdict, it's just data. But it's data most people never collect because collecting it requires honesty that's uncomfortable to hold. Second, the smallest possible exit. Not the biggest, the smallest. Can't quit your job yet? What's one responsibility within it you could remove or delegate? Can't end a complicated relationship overnight? What's one boundary you could actually start holding this week? Small exits compounded over time create enormous freedom. But they have to be real, not thought about. Done.
Third, protect what you recover. This is the step everyone skips. You free up energy and immediately fill the space with something new. Another commitment, another yes when you meant no. Stop. When you put something down, the space it leaves is not empty. It's yours. Guard it. Let yourself feel what it's like to not be operating at maximum capacity. Because most people are so afraid of stillness, they'll fill it with anything just to avoid sitting with themselves. The stillness is not the enemy. The stillness is where you'll finally hear yourself again. Fourth, rebuild in your direction, slowly. Not, what should I do with my life? That question is too big and too paralyzing. Smaller questions, more honest ones. What am I genuinely curious about right now? What kind of person do I want to be in 5 years? Not what do I want to have, but who do I want to be? And what is the smallest, most concrete thing I can do this week that points me even slightly in that direction? 1 degree at a time, one honest decision at a time. That's how people actually change. Not in a weekend retreat, not in a single breakthrough moment, in the slow, quiet accumulation of small, honest choices made consistently over time. But before any of that can happen, there's something you need that nobody has given you yet.
Here's something that sounds simple, but most people have been waiting for it their entire adult lives without realizing it. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to want something different than what you wanted 5 years ago. You are allowed to outgrow a goal that used to fit. You are allowed to decide that the version of success you've been chasing doesn't actually belong to you and walk away from it without it meaning you failed. That's not giving up. That's growing up. The most exhausted people aren't the ones who quit on their dreams. They're the ones who kept chasing a dream that stopped being theirs years ago, out of stubbornness, out of fear of judgment, out of sunk cost. All the time and sacrifice that went into getting here, how could they possibly change direction now? But here's the truth about sunk cost. The time already spent is gone, regardless of what you do next. Every day you spend in an identity that no longer fits is another day added to the cost, not subtracted from it. And nobody is coming to give you permission to put it down. Not your parents, not your boss, not the culture that sold you this definition of success in the first place. Nobody is going to appear and say, okay, you've proven yourself enough. You can rest now. You can choose differently. That moment will never come from the outside. It has to come from you.
I want you to picture something. Picture yourself 10 years from now, still carrying everything you're carrying today. Same identity debt, same hollow feeling after every win, same exhausted mornings, same quiet question. Is this it? Now picture the moment 10 years ago when you first felt the crack, when something honest tried to surface, and imagine what it would have felt like to listen to it then instead of burying it. That moment is right now. This is that moment. And it doesn't have to be loud. It It doesn't require a dramatic announcement or a life overhaul. It can be a quiet, private decision made right now, where you finally look at what you've been carrying, acknowledge how heavy it's gotten, and choose to put one thing down. That is enough. That is actually everything.
You're not tired because you're weak. You're not tired because you can't handle your life. You're tired because somewhere along the way, you picked up obligations that were never yours, goals that were never yours, and a version of yourself built for someone else's comfort. And the version of you that exists underneath all of it, underneath every obligation you inherited and every expectation you absorbed, that version has been waiting. It's still there. So here's your one thing for this week. Look honestly at your life and find one thing you're carrying that was never actually yours. One obligation, one goal, one version of yourself you've been performing for someone else's benefit. Name it. Just name it. You don't have to act today, but name it. Because you can't put down what you refuse to see. Drop it in the comments, even one word. Because the moment you say it out loud, it loses a little of its power over you. You've been carrying this long enough. It's time to put it down.